Hey guys, today we are coming out to Borobudur. It's one of Indonesia's national parks and a historical monument. It's one of the world's largest Buddhist temples. And so we're here with Mark today, and we're going to go in and check out the temple. We're going to try to get a guide who will take us around and tell us a bit about the temple so we can learn a little bit more about the history of Indonesia. So we just had the introduction from the guide here, and basically he said that the temple was built in the 800s, but as during the time of the Hindu-Buddhist era in Indonesia, there was competition between the Hindus and the Buddhists, and Borobudur is kind of the masterpiece of the Buddhists, and Prambanan is the masterpiece of the Hindus. Anyway, that competition ended when the daughter and son of each kingdom married, and then there was unfortunately a major earthquake. No, thank you. That caused a lot of volcanic eruptions and forced the people to move away from the area and abandon the temples. And so during that time, they were covered up and destroyed basically by the elements. And so in, what was it, 18-something, early 1800s, a British man discovered the temple and began the restoration process. Then the Dutch came and took over because it was their colony. So they took over and rebuilt it. And then in the 60s, they began another restoration project where they did a lot more work and water management and such to make sure that it doesn't collapse again. And so we saw some pictures of that, and now we're going to head up to the temple, and our guide will tell us more about that. So let's go check out the temple now. So right here behind me there, you can see the temple in the distance, and that's where we're walking up to go check out. Here's the view from the first top of the flight of stairs before we get to go up into the temple. But first we're going over here to the shade to have an introduction by our guide. Okay, so our guide just told us about the temple a little bit more, and he informed us that there is no room for meditation here, but that it's a place for people to come originally and learn the story and learn the teachings of Buddha. There is, I think he said, 9 levels up here, and so each of the levels you go around in a circle, and you read the story in pictures on the wall. And so they took the writings that had been collected in India and then sent to Java, and they turned those writings into like a comic book and wrote them all on the walls here. He said that there are 500 and something statues of Buddha up there, and around half of them do not have a head because some broke just over time, but he said most of them have been stolen, and some have been recovered from Europe, but yeah, there's a lot that don't have heads still. So here we go. We're gonna go in the temple here. So our guide here explained to us that this is the beginning of the story here, and it teaches the basic teaching of karma. On the right side here, or the right side of the tree, is the former life where the people did good to other people. And then here on the left side of the tree is the future life where they receive a higher social status and 2 children, which symbolizes a great blessing. He then brought us over here, and he told us about this one here, which is kind of the opposite. These people here did bad, they gossiped about other people, and then over here they have the ugly faces because they did not receive the blessings in the next life. Here you can see one of the Buddhas up there in his little hole without a head. Here's a Buddha up in his little hole with a head, but he's missing an arm. And now we're going to go up the stairs into the temple. These are large stairs.
Yeah, they were bigger back then.
This is one of the pictures here that the guide explained. You can see some of the detail. You see this is the queen here and the umbrellas being held. And so the guy is standing behind here, behind the wagon, and you can see his feet right here from the person behind there holding the umbrella. So he's just commenting on the detail that they put into carving these. We've made it up here to the top, and he's explained to us some of the other parts of Buddhism and the symbolism behind each of these bell-shaped items. And the big one here, which he said is basically solid, although when they were restoring it, they opened it up and they did find a very small room in the center that is too small for a Buddha to fit into, and it was empty. This right here is the Temple of Borobudur from the top. Now we're heading back down to an area away from the temple a little bit so we can get an overall view of it.
Ini mau lapangan.
So right now we're just walking over to an area where we're going to get a complete view of the temple, although with the GoPro there's a good chance you're probably seeing the whole temple right now already. But we're going to go over here anyway and take a look at it. There's the whole temple right there. And here's Mark wearing a skirt. So now we're heading down away from the temple. You can see how many visitors come here to visit this national park. So we're heading out now through the kind of the market area, and everybody is offering us food and offering us hats and all kinds of things to see. Oh no, thank you. Bye.
Selfie, selfie.
Betul, selfie.